I welcome all the students who enrolled in the third year BCom for the academic year 2021-22. In this particular lecture, I am going to explain the syllabus for the semester 5 for the paper Indian Economic Environment. Indian Economic Environment is the paper in which we are going to discuss about various issues which are related with Indian economy. Issues which are related with Indian economy means actually we are going to discuss the problems which are related with Indian economy. In this paper of Indian economic environment, we will discuss about the status of Indian economy in comparison to the economies of other developed and developing nations of the world. In this particular paper, we will discuss about the industrial status. We will discuss about the current status of Indian agriculture. We will discuss about the problems which are related with Indian economy. So in this particular lecture, I will focus the attention of the students towards this syllabus. It means we will discuss what are the topics which we are going to cover in the paper Indian Economic Environment for the semester 5. So let us start our discussion on the syllabus, or we can say the brief outline of the syllabus. The very first unit of the Indian Economic Environment paper entitled Introduction to Indian Economy. In this introduction, we are going to discuss at the very outset the meaning and types of economy. In this first content, we will discuss three different types of economies. The first one is capitalist economy, second one is socialist economy, and third one is mixed economy. As we know, India adopted the model of mixed economy after independence, and we started the planned economic development of Indian economy since 1951 on the basis of the model of mixed economy. But today, if we look towards the structure of our economy, then we can say it is no more a model of mixed economy, it is the more capitalist economy. In order to understand the current nature of our, or the current structure of our Indian economy, it is essential to understand the basic concepts or the basic theories of the economy. So therefore, in the very first unit, the very first content of the first unit, we will understand, we will study what are these concepts, what is capitalist economy, what is the nature of capitalist economy, what are the characteristics of capitalist economy, and what are the pros and cons of this capitalist economy, that we will going to discuss. In the same way, next we will discuss about the socialist economy. What is the nature and features of capitalist economy? What are the advantages and disadvantages of capital? So in this way, in the very first unit, we will discuss about the types of economy. Then in the second point, we will cover, we will study the characteristics of Indian economy. We will discuss around about 10 to 12 characteristics of Indian economy in this particular point. We can say this is the point where we will discuss the features of Indian economy. Through the characteristics of Indian economy, we will focus our attention towards the various problems and current status of Indian economy. What is the current status of Indian economy, that we will discuss while discussing these various points under the title characteristics of Indian economy. After discussing the characteristics of the economy, in the third point of the first unit, we will discuss about the trends and composition of gross domestic product since 1991. First of all, I would like to clear one concept here, one point here at the moment. We can divide our Indian economy in two different parts. The first part comprises of the economy from 1951 to 1991. Then the second part comprises of the economy since 1991. Later on, while discussing in detail about these points, I will clarify why we will uh, divide our overall Indian economic development in these two parts. Just keep in mind that while studying the issues which are related with Indian economy, we have to divide these development process of Indian economy in two parts. The first part from 1951 to 1991, and the second part is about post 1991, or the economic development of India since 1990. In this particular third point of our syllabus, we will discuss about the trend and composition of gross domestic product. Through this trend and composition of gross domestic product, what we will understand is what is the development trend of our Indian economy, how our Indian economy is moving towards the development process. Particularly after 1991, what is the status of the gross domestic product? That is, in other words, we can say what is the status of our national income since 1991, that we will discuss in this particular third point of our first unit. And fourth point of our first unit is related with Human Development Index and Gross National Happiness Index. Concept and status of India. Human Development Index is the index which is calculated in order to study the development of human society or the development of various aspects of human being. And another index which we do calculate, that is about the Gross National Happiness Index. What is the status of happiness in each and every country? What are the components through which we can calculate human development, and what are the components through which we can calculate the happiness of the individuals of the particular country? That we will discuss in this particular unit, in this particular point, fourth point of our first unit. Here we will initially study the concepts of Human Development Index and concept of Gross National Happiness Index. Then we will study the status of India in relation to human development and status of India in relation to happiness index. In comparison to the other developed and developing nations, what is the status of India? That we will discuss in the fourth point of our first unit. So in this way, in the very first unit of our syllabus of Indian economic environment, we will study these four different points. After discussing the first unit, now we will move towards our second unit. The second unit is about the agricultural development. In this second unit, we will discuss about the problems, about the issues which are related with the agricultural sector of our country, which are related with the agricultural development of our country. Here some selected issues which are related with the agricultural development we will discuss in the second unit. The first point of the second unit is about the present status and problems of Indian agriculture. There are various problems in Indian agricultural sector. The problem of indebtedness is there, the problem of agricultural pricing, problem of agricultural marketing, problem of agricultural laborers, problem of the equal distribution of agricultural land among various sections of the society. These are some selected problems which are related with the Indian agricultural sector. So in this unit, second unit, we will discuss in detail about the present status or the present development status of Indian agriculture and what are the problems which are related with the Indian agriculture. After discussing the present status and problem of Indian agriculture in the second point in detail, we will discuss about the agricultural price policy and agricultural marketing. Agricultural price policy is very important as far as the standard of living of farmers is concerned. At what price the farmers are selling their agricultural produce, means products in the market, and what are the what is the cost of production in comparison to the cost of production, whether the farmer are getting a reasonable prices for their commodities, and what are the role government is playing in order to give a reasonable price to the farmers, how the government is playing its role in order to give a reasonable prices to the farmers for their agricultural produce. This is what the point which we will discuss in agricultural pricing while discussing the problem of agriculture. Most of the times the farmer will not get a reasonable price for his agricultural produce because of the problem or mismanagement of demand and supply of agricultural commodities in the market. So this is the issue which we will discuss. Then after discussing the problem of agricultural pricing, we will discuss about the problem of marketing, agricultural marketing. How the process of agricultural marketing takes place. What are the problems which farmers do face while marketing their agricultural commodities? How the intermediaries in the markets they deceive the farmers while doing the buying and selling process of agricultural commodities. These are the problems, these are the issues which are related with the marketing process of agricultural commodities or agricultural produce. So in this point, we will discuss about these issues. What is the nature of agricultural pricing and marketing? These are the points which we will discuss in the second unit. In the third unit, we will discuss about the food security in India. In this particular point about food security, we will study the availability of food grain in India, accessibility of food grains in India, means whether the production of food grains in India is enough to meet the requirements of our people, whether enough or ample amount of food grains are available in our country in order to meet the dietary requirements of our people. That is what the availability of food grains we will discuss in this topic. Then we will see what is the accessibility of food grain. Accessibility means whether people are in a condition to get or to purchase these available food grain from the market, and what is the purchasing power of the people of our country, whether they are having enough money to purchase the available food grains from the market at the market price. If people are not in a condition to purchase the food grains at the market price from the open market, then what is the mechanism of the government to make these food grains available to the general public? These are some policies, challenges about the food security, which we will discuss in this particular point, food security in India. Then in the same third point, we will discuss about the public distribution system, the mechanism of public distribution system. Public distribution system is an organization. It is the mechanism of the government through which the public authority or the government do supply the food grains to the general public at the concessional rate. Public distribution system means, in other words, we can say it is the study about the mechanism of the rationing shops in our country. How these public distribution system are functioning and what are the challenges in front of the mechanism, in front of the public, in front of the government while distributing the food grains from this public distribution system, and what is the current status of public distribution system. That is what we will discuss in this third point. And the fourth point is related with the agricultural indebtedness, the increasing indebtedness of the farmers in the current scenario. Because recently we are facing the problem of indebtedness in agricultural sector. In recent past some years, the farmers committed suicide due to the indebtedness. Therefore, it is important to discuss what crisis is going on in an Indian agricultural sector and why the farmers are committing suicides and why they are raising the loans from money lenders, from private banks and other financial mechanism, and why they are unable to repay the loan amount, and what are the problems they do face after raising the loans from the financial institutions and other money lenders. What is the extent of the indebtedness, what are the causes and remedies of agricultural indebtedness, that we will discuss in the last fourth point of our section. So in this way, in the second unit of our syllabus, we will discuss some selected issues, some selected problems, some selected challenges which are related with the agricultural sector of our country. In this particular lecture, I explained, I given the brief outline of the syllabus, particularly the brief outline of Unit 1 and Unit 2. So in this way, I will stop my lecture here. In the next lecture, I will explain the two more units, unit number 3 and unit number 4 of our syllabus. In Marathi language, I will explain I will record the separate lecture for the Marathi language. So I will stop here. Thank you.